Alright, so I shut my tumbler off. I'm doing a third batch. And this is the second batch. So before I show them to you, I'm going to show you the grit and how it comes because I had to order a new one. So I managed to do, let's see, I did one round. Let me just show you this just so in case you never saw any of the videos. So 3 pounds, 3 pounds, 6 pounds total. Alright, so I did one batch before this. So this is batch number 2. When I say batch, that's both tumblers, not like per tumbler. So I did one set of rocks through 2 tumblers, and now this is my second batch, and that's my third batch. So the grit I'm showing you was good enough for 3 batches of 6 pounds total for each. So 6, 12, 18. Now the reason I'm telling you that is because when I bought this, and this is all new to me, but I decided after going through some searches and some comments and stuff, I went with this Tumblers. Here it is right here. All right, and when I bought it, they had different varieties online for Walmart. So what I did is I bought the big set of it. So you can see here, the number 1 with the pound symbol is actually 1 pound coarse, 1 pound fine, and then half pound, half pound. All right, I do have plastic pellets. I bought them separately. So when I bought it, this is their directions, and this is where I bought from. So 12-pound tumbler. So it says right there, you can read it for yourselves, but this completes 1 cycle for the 12 pounds of rock. For me, I got 3 cycles or processes of rocks for all that. Again, I'm going to show you what they don't really say, I don't think, here as far as tablespoons and all that kind of stuff, because it's dump all this product in for the 12-pound rock tumbler. And I'll just let you read this. Maybe it's better if I go like this. I want to do this quickly for you, but it's my camera here. Okay, so I'll bend it a little bit. So you can pause that and read that and how many days and all that kind of stuff, because I want to explain something to you. Alright, now hold on 1 second. Okay, so I don't have Chicago tumbling grit. I never even saw it, but apparently in their book they say they have it. So let's see if this will show. So they're showing you how many tablespoons. When I first did it, my first time around in the first batch of rocks, it was like too much. It was too much by a tablespoon each. There's no doubt about it. So on the second batch, which I'm going to show you, I used like a tablespoon less on each of them, and it came out exactly the same. So I was right, and it made a mess by using this amount of tablespoons. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. It's more like 3, 3, 4 or 5, 4 or 5. I even cut it down from like about 4 tablespoons on the pre-polish and polish because it was just way too much. There's no doubt about it. And then I just wanted to share with you. Let's see here. Oh, hold on 1 second. All right, so where is it here? 7 to 10 days on the first grind. All right, so remember that, 7 to 10 days. Basically, it's 7 days each one. It says 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. So you're looking at 28, and if you got to do burnishing, then you got to do an extra day or 2. So like 28 to 30 days is what that is done. But with this rock tumbling, this grit was really excellent. I feel it was excellent based off of reviews of other grits and then what I did, and then I cut down the tablespoons, and I'm going to show you what my rocks and everything look like. I'm really, really liking it because my first batch of rocks was 17 and a half days. This one, what did I do here? This one was 22 days, but I did it a little different because of different sizes and everything of rocks, which I'm going to talk to you about. All right, so on the first batch of rocks, they were all like between that size, maybe 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, to these 2-inch rocks and stuff. There was one that was slightly larger and stuff in there, but basically all these sizes in there. This time around, I put in something a little longer and skinnier. I put this giant guy in here. It's probably about 3 inches by 2 inches high by 1.5 inches wide. So that's why I ran it longer. So like on the first day, on the first batch, I think I did 6, 4, 3, something like that. It was like 17 and a half days basically, and they came out perfect just like this. Now the reason this did 10 days this time around is because the size of the rock that was in it. There was more than this, by the way. There was about 6 to 10 more, but I'm putting them aside for my family to ship back home. So there's actually more than you see here. And because of the shape, I mean, this is a big rock. You can see the grooves and the slits and all that in there. And I'm going to show you these up close. And like this guy right here, so this is what it looked like. So you can see how well-rounded and everything they did. So I did 10 more days because they had a lot more creases, a lot more grooves and cracks and stuff in them than the first batch, which are a lot more smoother looking than these guys. So that's why I jumped it up from 6 to 10 days, and it did really well. There's just some things that you're not going to get out of it, and I'm going to show you that. So there, you can use that as a guide. If you never saw how they box it in this, I put them in containers and labeled the containers in plastic containers. These aren't Ziploc bags or anything. This is what it looks like. They don't say the number of the grit, like say 60, 80, 90. They don't tell you, but I'm telling you right now, it works awesome. You can decide on your own. I'm going to show you again. Remember, I did the polishing. So I did pre-polish 5 and 4, and the first batch I did 3 and 3. The reason was because of the sizes. I had to make sure when I checked them, I threw them in again. I rearranged them to make sure they were all polishing because some of the bigger ones. But I didn't really notice a difference. I probably could have taken them each out at 3 days and they still would have been fine. I just wanted to make sure that some of the groove areas might have got banged and touched a little bit better with the polish. All right, hold on one second. Okay, so I'll do this as best I can and hopefully my camera will focus. Right off the bat, I'm going to show you that this is a store-bought. Okay, so somebody gave me this. You can see what it looks like. And these are the ones that I did. Now, I found all these rocks. They were found in Medford around a lake and in field areas and stuff. There are a couple different things with these that you might not normally do. So I'm new at cutting and polishing rocks, and sometimes I can't cut them that great. So here was an example of one that didn't cut perfect, so it wouldn't line smooth, and it was just too much to try to get it to cut and polish. Same thing with this, which I think is petrified wood. So when I go over these, you'll know ahead of time that was cut, that was cut. This was a chunk that broke off when I cut this. This was trying to cut and polish, and again, saw marks didn't come out good, but that's what the material looks like. This is natural, and this is like the chip section that flew off, and that's the more natural. I don't know if this is considered wood, jasper, or other, but it's really pretty. So, and these were cut as well, and that's it. And this guy was cut, and the rest of them were just like they were, and thrown in the tumbler and polished. So let me see if I can get you just to see some of them on your own without me telling you what they are. And then I'll hold them. And if you have any idea, if you think they're wood, jasper, or whatever they are, let me know. Like, I call anything like this for now cornelian. Whether it is or not, I don't know. So kind of get an idea of what I'm going to show you, how they came all together. Remember, the first time was 17 and a half days. This was 22 days. And you really should be doing them 28 to 30 days. And they came out really, really wonderful. Even some of the ones that were nicked up. All right, so I'm going to start with this side because I'm going to show you that I might put these in again to try. Now, this thing here was really awesome. Where's my finger? This thing was really awesome, but it only showed well underwater, and it didn't have those little dry pits until I started polishing it. And if you can see that really cool green glow. So it really bothers me because I don't know if I put it in longer if they'll come out. Sometimes they go deep into the rock, but I might try to do that again. Under the water, it has such a cool green glow, and it wraps around. And then the bottom side, of course, is perfect looking. And again, there's the shine from the polish, and then there's what it just looks like when the light's not gleaming. You can see how beautiful they came out. This may be tiger's eye. I'm not sure. Try to get it without the glow. Had these little pits in it and stuff. I tried to Dremel out ahead of time, which did a good job, but now my camera's bouncing around here. Hold on one second here. I don't want to take too long in this video. So there you go. So that might be tiger's eye in there. So I might do this again and just beat it down for another 10 days and see if anything comes out better. This again I thought was just some caramelly type rock. Came out really nice. It wasn't this color. It almost looked like a red, but now it's more like a caramelly color. And then again, it has almost like that wannabe tiger's eye stuff in it. I almost cut the crud section off, but I figured let me just tumble it the way it is. And it did a good job beating a lot of that stuff down and everything, but I don't think it's going to do much more. But I may put it in again anyway, just to see some of these. This one here came out better than I thought because it was very, very smooth, dull. That's what I want to say, dull. Now it's showing all these cool reds underneath there and underneath glowing red fiery type stuff. It basically looked like the top here. The whole rock looked like the top, and I wasn't prepared for it to look anything really cool like that. And since it is a pretty deep, thick rock, and it seems to be mostly like quartz, or silica with the stuff trapped all underneath it, I might put this in longer and beat as much down and off of it so the color comes out. This guy surprised me, this big guy here. Now, they say in my tumbler don't put anything over like an inch and a half. Well, I've been doing that. And I weigh it, 3 pounds. I have a hand weight that's 2 pounds and a 5-pound hand weight. And I weigh them both to check it out. But as you can tell, for the shape and the size and the divots and the marks, look at how well that polished with all those divots and all those creases. This thing polished really, really well. Really surprised of how well this polished and how the color came out on it. There's a little bit of it's not dull, it really is polished. It just looks dull to you and to my eyes, but it is polished. It's just, I guess for whatever reason, that didn't, shine as much, but it actually polished. You can see that it didn't miss it. So yeah, this big rock came out really nice, and it looks way better than it did. It's just hard on a little tumbler to get that beat down as much as you can. Here's that, that red rock up there. And I don't know what it is, but it's really beautiful. It's light. It feels like, hollow almost. It's really light. It's gorgeous. So if you know what it is, it's just quartzy jaspery stuff. I don't know, wood. I have no idea what some of these are. They're very hard to tell. Came out nice. You could barely even tell anything unless it was underwater. These things here, wood, jasper, both. There we go. Came out really, really pretty. Some of them I would love to be able to design and put them in a pendant, cut a section off and put them in a pendant. All right, so over here is this guy. I call it moonstone for now because I don't know what it is. It was very difficult to cut this thing, incredibly difficult. That's what it looks like on the outside. And then you can see this violety, like an ocean wave when the surf crashes and it swirls the white water with the regular water, but it has a violety color, and then you can see the swirls maybe there. Came out really nice. Let's see if I can put it down here like this to show. Yeah, it doesn't show so well, I don't think, but as far as the camera goes, but it has a nice violety hue, and I would love to see that in a ring or a pendant. So over here, I don't know what, moss agate or something like that. It did a great job because you see that white stuff here. It's nice and smooth. You can see how well it polished. The whole top part was covered with this plasticky white stuff. It didn't even look like any kind of rock material. It was like plastic. And it beat it down, smoothed it, and it came out so really, really nice. So that came out real well. I'm happy with that. I don't know, carnelian type stuff. Right there. Cool. And then this is a close comparison of a store-bought and then my guy. So you can see, it didn't need to take 28 to 30 days, and it did real well. Yeah, there goes the camera. Even when that looks like it has pits in it, but it's not. It's actually smoothed over and feels really nice. So it did a good job of all that. Came out really, really nice. This was, somebody gave me this, and it was not that purple. It was lighter purple, and it was a point, but the point was kind of damaged, so I threw it in, and now I got this really, really deep purple color, so that's cool. Not sure what this brownish black guy is with the reds and swirls, but that's a really cool stone. See if it can stay like that while I show you. So that's really neat. This guy is like a fiery red with the brown in there. Again, I'm not familiar with what they are classified as a true geologist, but you know, there's obviously silica, quartz, and then some kind of jasper. And here's that really cool orangey red, what looks like what people call fire agates or something. I don't know what it is. I tried cutting it. The other side was way bigger and it came out nice. It was my first batch, and it has got, hard to pick up on the camera, got these designs in it that are like fiery lines. This is like beautiful. This is like pearl, and I think this is wood, and it's purpley brown and the pearl essence looking color, and it came out really nice. I think this is wood. This is really interesting because it was mostly browns, and every time it got tumbled more and more, all this green came out with slight purples in it, and you can almost see like the purple there for a moment. So I was like amazed because I knew when I put it in water there was a touch of green in this area, but not all this and all that agate lines in it. Again, the camera's not doing 100% justice, but you can see how beautiful that is, and I'm pretty sure that's wood. And I think this is this guy here. So you see all that powdery white? When I put this under water, the white literally disappears, and you get all these bands and these beautiful colors. And it was in my fish tank for a while. It was really hard to cut, and you know, you get a slight wobble, and it just doesn't sit flat on the lap, and it's a real pain in the butt. So that might go into tumbler next. It's a little bit bigger than this guy. So that's what this is here. It didn't do as much as I thought. It came out a little duller than the rest of them, but it could be because of the size and the fact that it has all these knobs and stuff, so it doesn't bang up against everything. Oops, sorry about that. But it did come out well. Just not as good as the other ones. But it's good that I know that I can cut something and it looks crappy and I can't polish it, and I throw it through the tumbler and it looks really nice. So these two little quick pieces. Another cool wood that had a lot of, that's actually crystals in there, like bubbly crystals in there. And then the purpley, so you can see the shine on it, and then it came out nice. Even though it had some pits in it and pits all over the top and in there. Most of it came out good, and I'm pretty sure that's wood. And this one, I think is wood as well, even though it looks like all crystally. The area is known for that. Let me see if I can get a good shot on this. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this, but it brought out the yellows, and there it goes. There, yeah, finally. So where my thumb is here, it looks really cool in there, and some of these other things. I'm pretty sure that's wood, and it really does look cool, even if my camera doesn't zoom in time to show you the coolness. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, I like I said, I think they come out really good. Right now I got going on in here more of this material here, but some better stones that I really liked. And then a whole bunch of serpentine type stuff in here, which I'm really excited to see how they'll turn out. I cut and polished some of them, and I'll bust out some of the cut and polished squares and pillars and stuff like that in that video when they're tumbled, so you can see the difference between tumbled and the ones I cut and polished. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm interested if anybody knows, like I call it moonstone. What do you think it is? It comes out even better in water. I would love to put that in jewelry. And this material here, obviously a lot of you guys know what you're talking about in geology or whatever. Now, here's something I want to know. What do you think? Again, it has that purpley hue in it and all the reds and browns and mustards. I just took it out of my fish tank. It's banged up on the bottom, but I know I can smooth it down. But it is kind of sharp, and it has some really sharp edges. I didn't cut this. This is the way it was. And I like it so much because I do like the texture of it, and I like the cuts and the jagged edges. But I always keep picturing it like, man, when I drop it in water, I can see through almost the whole thing, and it's so cool. What would it be tumbled? But I'm afraid that if I tumble it, and part of it doesn't come out that well, and part of it does, that it will actually look a little bit ridiculous. So I'm not sure. So if you guys are really experienced, and I know my rocks can the tumbler can smooth these edges down, but these are really, really kind of sharp and thin, and all those cuts and creases. So what would you do? Would you tumble it? Would you try cutting it and polishing it? Would you do both? let me know what you would do on that. I think that's it. A little bit longer than I wanted to on the video, but I think that's what I'm going to do. And I think what I'm going to do with this guy is, there's room in the one tumbler here. So when it gets to the polishing stage, I might polish that up again and see if I can get it a little better. But it still came out really nice. Now the camera's focusing better, so you can see it. But it's still a little bit more dull. But under the water, it's completely different looking. It looks so cool. A lot of that white goes away. It's bizarre how that goes away, but it does. All right, so that's it. Let me know if you know anything, any questions or any answers you can give. All right? Lots of love to you. Bye-bye.